Captain Sarah Chen floated in the observation deck of the research station Endeavour, watching the Zephyrian delegation approach through the viewport. Their sleek vessels moved with the fluid grace characteristic of their species, beings who had mastered energy manipulation millennia before humanity had discovered fire. Fascinating specimens, Dr. Kale, the lead Zephyrian scientist had said during their first contact 6 months ago. His crystalline form had shimmered with what Sarah had learned was barely contained excitement. We must study them. Now, as Sarah prepared for what the Zephyrians called a demonstration of galactic standards, she couldn't shake the feeling that humanity was about to become the subject of a very different kind of study. The airlock cycled, and Dr. Kale glided in, his translucent body pulsing with soft blue light. Behind him came 3 other Zephyrians, each carrying devices that hummed with barely contained energy. Captain Chen, Kale's voice resonated through the translation matrix. We appreciate your species' cooperation in this essential assessment. Sarah nodded, her hand instinctively moving to the communicator at her belt. 3 decks below, her security team waited on standby, though she doubted conventional weapons would be effective against beings made of living energy. As we explained, Kale continued, every species seeking membership in the Galactic Consortium must undergo the resilience trials. These tests determine your people's natural defenses against the most common threats in our galaxy. One of the Zephyrians stepped forward, raising a device that looked like a crystalline flower. Energy crackled between its petals, the same type of energy that had vaporized the asteroid during their first demonstration. This is a Class 7 disruptor, Kyle explained. It breaks apart molecular bonds at the quantum level. Very few species can withstand even its lowest setting. Sarah's heart hammered against her ribs, but she forced herself to remain still. Humanity's acceptance into the consortium depended on these tests. They needed allies' resources and knowledge to survive in a universe far more dangerous than they had ever imagined. The Zephyrian aimed the device at her chest. The energy beam struck her with the force of a focused lightning bolt. Sarah braced for agony, for dissolution, for death. Instead, she felt warmth. Pleasant, almost soothing warmth, like sunlight on her skin during a perfect spring day. The Zephyrians froze, their forms flickering with what Sarah had learned indicated shock. Impossible, Kale whispered. Increase to setting 4. The second beam struck Sarah with enough force to knock her back a step, but again there was no pain, only that strange, comforting warmth that seemed to spread through her entire body. Setting 7, Kale commanded, his voice tight with disbelief. This time the energy was so intense that it illuminated the entire observation deck in brilliant white light. Sarah felt the warmth intensify, but it was like being wrapped in her grandmother's quilt by a fireplace, not the molecular destruction the weapon was designed to deliver. Maximum power, Kale said, his form now cycling rapidly through colors Sarah had never seen before. The final blast would have turned a Gorvac battlecruiser into constituent atoms. Instead, Sarah actually smiled as the warmth enveloped her completely. She felt energized, refreshed, as if she'd just had the best sleep of her life. The Zephyrians began speaking rapidly in their native language, their forms pulsing in synchronized patterns. Finally, Kale turned to Sarah, his crystalline structure now a deep purple that she recognized as profound confusion. Captain Chen, he said slowly, in 3 million years of galactic civilization, we have never encountered a species immune to quantum disruption. This is unprecedented. Sarah straightened her uniform, feeling surprisingly good despite having just been subjected to weapons that could level cities. Is there a reason why this might be the case? Dr. Kale consulted a device that materialized from his energy form. According to our readings, your species' cellular structure contains trace amounts of what we call quantum foam, the base fabric of reality itself. It appears to be woven into your very DNA. And that means? It means, Captain Chen, that humans are essentially made of the same material as spacetime itself. You are not just immune to our most powerful weapons, you are immune to most forms of energy-based attacks throughout the galaxy. Sarah processed this information, thinking of the implications for humanity's future. Is this unusual? Kale's form shifted to a color she'd never seen, something between gold and silver that seemed to indicate awe. Captain, in all our records, only 3 species have ever possessed natural quantum resilience. The first were the architects, who built the foundation of galactic civilization before transcending physical existence 10 million years ago. The second were the gardeners, who seeded life throughout the galaxy before disappearing into deep space. The third, he paused. The third were thought to be mythical until today. What happened to them? According to legend, they became the guardians of the galaxy, protecting younger species from threats beyond imagination. Captain Chen, we believe your species may be their inheritors. Sarah looked out at the vast star field beyond the viewport, where human colonies were just beginning to spread among the stars. Suddenly, the universe seemed not like a hostile place to be conquered, but like a garden to be tended. Dr. Kale, she said, I think we need to have a much longer conversation about humanity's role in this galaxy. The Zephyrian's form brightened to pure white, an expression of joy she'd learned to recognize. Indeed, Captain. Indeed we do. As the alien delegation prepared for extended discussions, Sarah couldn't help but smile. Humanity had come to the stars seeking their place among the civilizations of the galaxy. Instead, they had discovered they might be coming home.